Yo, Periscope, what is up? It's your boy Chaos Hero back again, here to give you a new deck profile. Now, basically, like the previous, if you don't know what a deck profile is, look at my other videos or my previous videos that I did live last night. You can probably go on my page or my channel. I don't know how it works on Periscope yet, and you can see how a deck profile works. But basically, it's a part of a channel called TCG TV. You can also look up about it on my YouTube as well. You can look up TCG TV, K-Dash. Or you can try to follow me on Facebook. That way you can get live links and stuff all about what we do. But I'm here with you guys with another deck profile on a very interesting deck that I actually was given to me as a gift from a friend, and I've actually grown kind of a special bond with this deck because if there's anything you don't know about me, as a Yu-Gi-Oh player or as a TCG player in general, I've never been prone to dragons, and to be honest with you, I've never been a big fan of dragon type monsters, as various as Pokemon as it is to Force of Will. Same thing with Yu-Gi-Oh! But my friend kind of convinced me to get into dragon types as soon as I picked up this deck. And basically this deck is basically the Heroic Dragon decks. That's why in the description it's formerly known as the Dragonic Sunshine Seal. But enough of that. Basically what this deck is, most of its majority of mechanics is basically offensive capabilities. Rarely so often, or probably often, you will be finding yourself in defensive positions. So there are some defensive contingencies in this deck. Or so I've presumed in several duels. But enough of that. Let's get into the deck. And if you like what I do, if you like what we do, and how we upload our stuff, give us some love. Send us some love right down there on the bottom. It would be really much appreciated. If anything else, like I said, if you like what we do, comment, give me some advice. Like I said, pretty soon today, we're going to be doing our first live episode of Top Down Throwdown. Now, what Top Down Throwdown is going to be, I will explain to you probably on my Facebook page when I go live on that as well. But, like I said, right now, it's about the deck profile. So, this is the extra deck. We're going to get to that in a minute. But right now, let's focus on the main deck. Now, the main deck is simple. It's 40 cards. You already know that for any of you professional Yu-Gi-Oh players. It consists of a bunch of, majority of the deck is basically, when it comes to monsters, is effects. And only, 5 normal monsters in this deck. And out of those 5 are tuners. 2 out of those 5 are tuners. Actually, 3 out of those 5 are tuners. My apologies. And 2 out of those normal monsters are regular, just regular normal monsters. I'm sorry if I do sound decongested. Congested. I am coming down with a little bit of a sinus cold, so bear with me on that. I do apologize, and I will try to be better on that. As far as normal tuners, you have a copy of Flameveil Guard. That's a simple basis. And 1 copy of Galaxy Serpent. And 1 copy of Labradorite Dragon. For regular normal monsters, you have Axeldrite Dragon. And 1 copy of Heroic Sun Seal of the Sun Dragon Overlord. For effect monsters, you have 3 copies of Jabeb, or Jabub, if you want to pronounce it that way. Oh, trust me, I ain't running no Pot of Desire, homeboy. And I'm surprised that thing ain't banned yet. I really am surprised that thing has not even hit the ban list yet. But what Jabeb is basically your forerunner of your deck. Also, keep 3 copies. You already know 3 copies of ESEP. That's a must in this deck. And also can't have ESEP without Nefbet, so you got to run those 2. these are really good, fast, heavy hitting cards, which I really like. And they get monsters out very quick for like very, pardon my French, big motherfuckers. So you'll kind of see that in top-down throwdowns pretty soon, later on today. 3 copies, of Sue. Always got to keep Sue because, in my opinion, Sue, if you don't have MST in your hand or can't get to MST, Sue is a great way to chain into any Herodic effect and at the same time blows up anything in the back row. Let's say an annoying spell card or somebody uses Sanctuary. Nobody likes Sanctuary, but guess what? There's ways to get rid of it with this card. And I actually like this card. And if you notice, a lot of Herodic stuff is based off of tributing. Most of their stuff is not low-leveled stuff, but at the same time, it's still good. I always keep a 3 of Herodic Tefnuit, which is also badass. Well, honestly, it's not for budget. I mean, it's just to actually bring awareness. Because in my feelings, I believe that, and pretty soon, TCGs are going to be like a lost art. They're going to be a lost pastime. Well, with the phone apps and all that good shit. But like I said, I try to bring awareness. This is not mainly for profit. This is not made for budget. This is not made for benefits. It's just more made to just promote TCGs everywhere, basically. And to inspire enthusiasts of TCGs, regardless of what TCG you play, that, you know, there's fun in everything you do. So that's basically what my channel's about. Well, basically what this thing is about. Always keep a copy of Red Eye's Darkness Metal. Now, you can run this in the new Red Eye set. I will suggest that. He works perfectly with it. I have a poor man's build of a Red Eyes deck. I will probably be doing a deck profile of until I get the rest of the cards that I need for it, as well as the Blue Eyes and probably the Dark Magicians. Actually, the Pendulum Dark Magicians, which my brother-in-law is going to be running as well. As far as trap cards, we get 1 copy of Potion Evacuation Device. 1 Herodic Seal of Banishment. 2 copies of Herodic Seal from the Ashes. Sorry about the camera shaking. 2 Castles of Dragon Souls, which actually kind of combines in with Seals of Ashes from the Ashes, because it kind of does this, like, put out of play, receive things out of play kind of thing. Kind of recycle stuff. The one thing you may need to find in a deck is finding synergy. Castle dope. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. This is just like one of those big risk-taking cards. And you'll notice that in most of the deck profiles I do, I always put a risk-taking contingency. Because at some point in time in a duel, when you're going hard, and you know, I know you duelists out there love to go hard, always got to keep that one big risk-taking contingency plan. Now, I'm not going to say you're going to want to do that off the rip, but at the same time, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's bound to happen. So that's why I keep 1 copy of Soul Charge. Now, what Soul Charge allows you to do is to take basically like a floodgate of what Monster Reborn could have been, in a way. Basically, but you have to pay a cost. You pay basically 1,000 life points for each monster you want to bring back from the graveyard. So it's kind of I would say a big risk taker, but the payout, if you know what you're doing, is perfect. My apologies again. Then, because it's limited to 1 copy of Dragon's Mirror. Now, I know what you're thinking. Okay, Chaos, what are you doing? Why are you adding Dragon's Mirror into a Herodic deck? Well, if you check out the extra deck, and when you get to that part, you're going to find out. Like I said, there are some contingency cards that I put in just in case stuff happens. Not because I'm going to put it in there because that's the first thing I'm going to go for, but just in case. I know you guys do the same thing, and I do too. And if you feel the same way, like I said, give me some love down at the bottom. I'd really appreciate it. Silver's Cry. In my opinion, Silver's Cry is a staple in the new Blue Eye set, but it also works in Heroic sets too, which is kind of unique. It allows you to target one Dragon-type normal monster in your graveyard, special summon it, that target. You can only activate Silver's Cry once per turn. So basically what this does is it allows you to quick play summon Sunseal out, and basically use, I think it's Ecep's effect, or I think it's, hold on. It's Ecep's effect. My apologies, you guys. Yep, it's Ecep's effect. Ecep's effect basically, when on, once per turn, I can target one monster. I can target one monster on the field, one dragon type face up normal monster on the field, which is basically Sunseal. As a prime example, let's say if, you know, I have Ecep on the field. And somehow I managed to get Sunseal into the graveyard. Now, if I have Silver's Cry in my hand and I want to activate his effect, I can play Silver's Cry, bring back Sunseal, overlay, and go into overlay, and then go right into Sunseal Dragon Overlord Heliopolis. That's the reason why I added one copy of Sunseal and one copy of Silver's Cry. But if you want to, you can add two. It's optional. If you feel like that formula is more efficient, then by all means, use that method. This is just here for, like, you know, ideas. There's so many ways you can build Heroic decks, so many ways, so many variations you can do. If you don't believe me, there are other people that run Heroic decks, and I'm pretty sure you have a certain way you like to run your Heroic decks. So that's also what makes it pretty fun. But on to the next card. One copy of Wing Beat of Giant Dragon. Now, if you notice, like I said, I've been using a lot of old school Dragon cards because what ain't broken don't fix, in a way. And I think this card is a prime example. I've used this in a couple of Dragon decks before when I first started using, try to use Dragon type monsters, and this card has stuck with me. It's a really good card, even though you do have to, you know, get rid of that, you know, basically you can, you know, you have to return that monster back to your hand or your extra deck. It's a real good card to have if you want to get rid of everything in the back row. I wouldn't take the risk, but it's a good risk-taking card. Always have 3 copies of Heroic Seal of Conviction because, like I said, this deck is basically offensive. Majority of its stuff is offensive and brute force, and it's basically all up in your face. This is kind of a Dragon deck that you would prefer if you want that kind of style. This is not a normal Dragon deck where you just sit stuff, contingency, save plan, protect yourself. This is all, I'm be all up in your face, and I'm going to basically ground pound your face into the ground type of Dragon deck. If this is not the kind of Dragon deck you're into, or this is not the kind of Heroic deck you're into, I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure you can find other Periscopers that give you a better contingency plan for this deck. But like I said, this card I added 3 of because you will brick a lot. You often, more times than not, with this kind of Heroic deck build, unfortunately, it rarely will come around, but it will. You will brick a lot. And if you have this card in your hand, it can actually set a perfect, or I would say decent momentum for you in a way to where you can kind of get on track. But like I said, that's the reason why I have 3 of these in my deck. Heroic Sunseal of Convocation. 2 Stomping Destructions. Like I said, old school cards, they're good. They're good. They really do work. These are the most recent set. And if you notice, I did actually kind of slide some stuff from the Blue Eyes White Victory set that recently came out and added it to my Heroic deck. So for those of you guys that are really insulted by the fact that, oh, Chaos, why are you using Blue Eyes stuff in a Heroic deck? It's kind of insulting Blue Eyes. Calm down, chill out. Don't get your duelist panties in a bunch. Because the one thing actually, if you realize about some of the Blue Eyes stuff, it does complement some of the Heroic stuff. If you actually look, read between the lines, guys. It really does work. But Return of the Dragon Lords is a really good card. It allows you to basically, if you can't get any other way to Sunseal, it allows you to get to him. And special summon him when you need to. But Sunseal is not mainly for that reason. Also, there are some cards in here that can one-shot stuff. So you'll get to see that stuff in the extra deck pretty soon. Then the last two are, well, you know, you can't build a deck without swords, baby. You can't build a deck without swords. So always keep 2 or 3 copies of that. Now, we're getting into the extra deck. Now, this is where stuff gets really, really dirty. This is where the magic gets to happen. This is where the fried chicken and watermelon. So I hope you guys are ready. But if you are ready and you are down to see what's in this extra deck, summon all 3 Egyptian God cards and destroy that love button, please. Can't say nothing more else. As for XZs, you know you always got to keep Starlight Paladino in. I mean, come on now. Ever since he was even introduced, everybody's been putting him in kind of light deck. One Dark Rebellion XZ's Dragon. It's a really cheap card. It's a decent price. I can go on Amazon and get it for like $1 or $2. It's really cheap, but it's really cheap summoning card, and it's really cheap to buy. You already know, you love him. He's my deck avatar, and he's the big guy, Heliopolis himself, aka the Dragon Overlord, aka the Sunshine Bag Dragon King. And then you can't have a king without a prince. And that's why, well, he is the king, but he's the overlord, so whatever. We got Atum. Now, Atum is a really good Xyz monster. Basically, what he does is he detaches one Xyz material, special dragon monster, from your deck and make its attack 0. This card cannot attack during the turn. Now, this is where the magic happens. And I want you to watch closely as you see the magic happen. Now, if you summon out of Atum, use his effect, and he can't attack. Now you're singing, oh, Chaos, then what's the use of having him in the deck? It's because of this guy. Here's the next card that's in the entry of my Heroic deck. Gaia Dragon, the Thunder Charger. You can overlay him without even using an overlay unit, and then swing over him. Now, I wouldn't say it's, oh gosh, why would you have this? Well, let me explain. Gaia Thunder Charger is basically a giant beat stick. He literally pierces defense. Like, that's his effect. And you don't need to attach Xyz material for that, which is so awesome. For synchros, we got 2 copies of Michael, or aka Miguel. Basically, I know a lot of you haven't been seeing a lot of Lightsworn action as of late, since Lightsworns have been played since, what, the Synchro era, or damn near the Synchro era? But I thought that it would be a good time to bring him back via the extra deck, which was pretty good. Even though, like I said, his effect is a little bit risque, in my opinion, as far as effects go. You have to pay 1,000 to destroy basically get rid of a monster or a card on the field for the rest of the game. And on top of that, you basically have to mill the top, is it 3? Yep, top 3 cards off your deck into your graveyard. Which is a good thing, but at the same time, a huge gamble. Like I said, if you're willing to take a gamble, weigh your options. It's always good to do a gamble, but at the same time, it's always kind of detrimental. But like I said, be careful what you gamble with, especially when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh decks. 2 copies of Red Wyvern. Basically, what Red Wyvern does is it targets and destroys the strongest monster on the field. If you want more specifics than that, I will read the effect out loud to you all. During either player's turn, if a monster with the highest attack then this Synchro Monster card is on the field. You can destroy that face-up monster on the field. Has the highest attack points. You can destroy that face-up monster. Okay. If tied, this effect can. You can. Well, actually, basically, you have to destroy both effects if tied. So yeah, you have to destroy both Red Wyvern and this card if it's tied with it. Jesus, that's kind of a downside. This effect can only be used once while this card is face up on the field. Wow. So this effect can only be used once. And on top of that, sorry, it basically, in short, like I said, this is a huge. Like I said, it's another gamble card. It's a good card, but it'll gain you victory. But it's a gamble. But it's a gamble that you can be safe, feeling safe making. Because, well, basically, say if your monster is the same amount as my monster, well, guess what? We're both destroyed. So, if you're stronger than me, I can destroy you. Either way. Now, I added Black Rose Moonlight Dragon due to the fact that when she's special summoned, it says when she's special summoned, or a level 5 or higher monster is special summoned to your opponent's side of the field. Target one special summon monster your opponent controls. Return that monster to the owner's hand. So basically, like, if I synchro summon her, and my opponent either fusion summons or XZ summon, I can actually return that card back to her hand. And in lieu of that, that's the only thing I can do, basically. But like I said, it's a really good card. It's similar to Black Rose Dragon, which I also have in my Odd Eyes deck, or my Performer Pal Party deck. If you look at my last video, it'll be up there probably. Stardust Spark Dragon. Basically, Stardust Spark Dragon works the same way, I guess, as Azura Eyes, but better. It basically protects all your one monster on the field from being destroyed by card effects or battle. And it's a pretty strong monster. I would run it in any dragon deck, and I would recommend it. Now, we're going to get to the two meats and juices of the Synchro era of the deck. One copy of Planet Eater and one copy of Trident Dragonic. Now, I would literally lay down the ground rules when it comes to Planet Eater. Planet Eater is boss. During the entire battle phase that this thing is on the field, it cannot be... Okay, let me explain to you the effects. I'll read you the effects, and you guys can decipher whatever you want to do. Must be synchro summoned and cannot be special summoned by any other ways. This card's synchro summon cannot be negated. When synchro summoned, cards and effects cannot be activated. If this card attacks, it's unaffected by other card effects until the end of turn. So basically, Utopia, not gonna happen. Utopia Ray V, heck no, that ain't gonna happen. So, in short, this thing is negating anything. It strong arms its way into the field, and it's literally what it's called, Planet Eater. Like, it just does not give no cares about what you do. And that's why I like this card. Trident Dragonic, same thing. What Trident Dragoni's effect is, it says must be synchro summoned and cannot be special summoned by other ways. When this card is synchro summoned, you can target up to 2 other cards you control. Destroy those targets, and if you do, for each destroyed card, now I want everyone to listen to this, and I don't want you to get confused when I explain this to you. It gains 1 additional attack. Now, what that means is, now I want you to look closely at this card real quick. I'm going to zoom in on this card. If you can see the attack power, that's 3,000 attack. 3,000 attack. So that means I destroy 2 cards, not 1, but 2. And it gains not 1, but 2 additional attacks if I destroy those 2. So that means it has this initial attack on the battle phase, which is 1. Now follow me on this one. It has its effect attack, which is an extra additional 1, which is 2. And then the other one from the other card you destroy, which is 3 attack. That's 3,000 plus 3,000. That's game. That's overkill. That's 9,000 straight to your face if your opponent has nothing. And I mean absolutely nothing on the field. These are my bruisers. These are my main deck bruisers. I keep these dudes right here because these dudes are basically my hitters. That's what basically this deck is all about. Brute force being the hitters. And last but not least, I brought back a classic all the way from the Duelist City series. You know him. You love him. He's the only fusion monster that's so badass. This dude can literally knock out Obelisk himself. 5-headed dragon. Always keep 1 copy of 5-headed dragon. Now, if you don't know what 5-headed dragon does, and you don't know why I have him in this deck, I will explain to you again. It is due to the fact of 1 spell card and 1 spell card in this deck that I said before. Dragon's Mirror. If you cannot do anything else, Dragon's Mirror. Now, its attack is perfect. It's amazing. It just beasts through everything. But its effect is pretty decent as well. This thing cannot be destroyed by battle with an earth, water, fire, or wind monster, or dark monster. And cannot take, even after Bam's calculation. So basically, even if you do manage to fight something with either these actual elements on the card, you can't destroy him. But by card effect, or via trap card. So he does have a weakness. But even still, I was so glad I actually managed to find a way to get him into this deck. I really love this card. Ever since I seen it on the TV show, it was very inspirational to me. I love this dragon card. And that's one of the main reasons why I fell in love with this deck. But there you have it, folks. This is the entirety deck profile of the Sunshine, Dragonic Sunshine Paradise. Sunshine, Sunseal. But like I said, I'll be doing more deck profiles pretty soon. Pretty soon I will be probably working on Sertellers. I'll be working on a deck for that. If you don't know my other deck profile videos, be sure to look for them on my Facebook page and the link in the description on my Periscope channel. If you want to know more about my channel, you can also, how I started, you can also check out my YouTube channel, which is TCGTV K-, so put a space between that. But like I said, if you are hyped for today, because I will be doing a new episode, the first episode of Top Down Throwdowns today, people. Today. So if you guys are willing to see Top Down Throwdown in its entirety live, not pre-recorded, live, then you will be able to actually get the chance to see it. Stay tuned around, let's say, I would say around 4 or 5, and you'll be seeing a lot of Top Down Throwdowns. And you may see me use most of my decks that I do on my deck profile. If you want to see other people do their deck profiles, also hit my boys Praymark9, Zero Hero, Crosser Dark. We're all on the same Facebook page. Hit us up on Facebook. My name is Kenneth Williams. But call me Chaos Hero. So, like I said, it's your boy Chaos Hero, saving you in the chaos, in the midst of the chaos. Peace.